once he came at me and hit and threw that first punch, but he missed. Man, I just started weighing on him, and the rest was history. I'll never forget. It was in front of Joan F. Rod, my middle school.
That's what Julio.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah. So that's what. So one of my students, I told her the story that we have some similarity. I had the same thing happen to me when I was your age, and man,
you laid hands on
him. They laid hands, and I was not suspended. Not punished.
How did you feel after that?
Oh man, I felt like wow.
I'm going to the gym.
I was like, man, it just motivated me even more to start the game of boxing.
Gotta let them know it be that CHICAG.
Here we go. Raise your glasses if you're ready to go. Here we go. If you feel it, then let me hear you go.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Mike Talk. I'm your host, Michael Gutierrez, or Mike G. Today's special guest is a friend of mine, and he is, I have to look at this because his resume is so impressive. Look at 1992 Chicago City Golden Glove champion, 1993 Golden Glove champion, 201-pound super heavyweight champion. Let me keep going here if I have to. 1995 Golden Glove champion. All right, if I keep reading this, we're going to be here forever. My friend, Fast Fres Oquendo. How you doing, brother? I get excited, man. I know my introduction's getting a little amped, man, but you walked in, I'm like, we got Fres finally in the house.
Oh, yeah, representing.
Fres, how you doing, man?
Oh, great,
How's
man.
everything?
Good to be back home, It's great to get back and see my people and where I grew up at and where I'm from, and good to be here.
You're doing a lot of things. But yeah, for people that haven't seen you around, Fres, like we grew up, we grew up in Uptown and a little bit of Lakeview, and but you escaped some kind of trauma or background, right? That sometimes says, man, I gotta either hunker down and focus, or it's not gonna be good. Tell us a little bit about that story.
Well, the thing is, I was born in Puerto Rico, came to Humboldt Park when I was a year old. From age 5, I ended up moving to Uptown, where we met.
Sure. Rainbow, Aragon Ballroom.
Exactly right, back in the late 70s. And then back in my early teen, I was 13, I moved to the housing projects, Lathrop Homes, in the Lakeview area. So I was always in the neighborhood, doing my thing. And but where I, was raised, it was pretty rough. It was gangs, drugs, negative stuff, negative association, and I was young. I could easily
influence.
Yeah, that influence was powerful. So I could have been easily, taking the wrong path. But my older brother Hector, the one, Morales, who ended up growing up with our other childhood buddies who were older than us, they, ended up meeting, and my brother ended up going to Hamlet Park. There's one park that's very prestigious in boxing.
I played baseball there somewhere.
Yeah.
You guys are playing.
Right,
you guys are in the
boxing
gym. I'm over here. I'm trying to make it to the MLB.
Exactly. So it's crazy because my older brother and my younger brother, they started boxing before me. Hector Morales and Henry Oquendo, they're the one that started the boxing. Yeah, and I was the knucklehead. I was stuck in the projects and hanging out with the knucklehead, with the clowns and knuckle. But it's an experience. I could never down myself too hard. But. The path that I had to choose, seeing my brother bringing a lot of trophies, Hector Morales, and graduating from Truman College at the time, and then going to a prestigious college, Loyola University, where we, in the north side of Chicago, where we go up. And then, my mom was just so happy when he used to bring those trophies, and I was like 13 at the time, 14. And I want to do that same thing, and, next thing you know, I ended up going to the boxing gym. Bill Hegler, my father figure, the first head coach of Hamlet Park, ended up accepting me, open arms, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
Here I am.
Yeah, man, wow. Do you feel like there was a defining moment that tú te puedes recordar? You could be like, man, I remember that, where it's just like, I ended up pushing harder and going to the gym because, as youth mentors, we're going to get to that youth mentor topic.
Yes, absolutely.
But as youth mentors, we go back and think like what I could have done different when I was 13, when I was 18, when I was 16. Was there a defining moment when you were 13 or 15 that you were like easily could have picked that negative route, but you pushed through going to the gym and fighting?
Yes.
I know we had a traumatic experiences around us seeing stuff.
And before I moved to the Lathrop Home housing projects, like I said, I was from Uptown. And when I was living there, before transitioning to Latham Homes, at the time, because our apartment burned down where we lived on Kenmore, so we needed an emergency place to stay at. And these housing projects, which my aunt, my older cousins lived at, David Cologne and them. I don't know if you met them, but they're the one that pretty much encouraged my mom to move there in the meantime. And then when I was in transition doing that, I ended up hanging out with one of my buddies named Rico, who used to live on Sheridan and Wilson in the high rise. I forgot the address, the popular address. But anyway, we ended up doing some knucklehead, starting up, how you call, we used to hot wire the cars, break the,
we used to peel them.
Peel them. There you go. Oh my God.
Well, how did I know that?
Yeah. So man, it's crazy. It was me and my first time doing that with him, and he was showing me the ropes and all that. So we had
a screwdriver.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. So man, we ended up successfully turning it on. Next thing you know, we're driving and just joyride, joyride and all that crazy stuff. Next year we're in Skokie.
Skokie, you in trouble.
Yep, I passed a couple of red lights. A chase, man. I couldn't believe my buddy had us on a speed chase, man. I was like, man, I'm about to, man, this is crazy.
My life's over. Right?
Yeah, I'm like, man, next thing you know, man, they ain't got a police, they cut him off and all that. He was a knucklehead, John Newsom, that was his name. But today and age, he's doing great things.
Good.
He's positive. He ended up hanging out, turning Land King in the project. I kind of fought that myself because I ended up having to move over there.
The people that supported you.
Yeah, exactly. But now he's doing great, managing Trader Joe's actually in Oak Park.
Wow.
So, it's crazy how life is. I just ran into him a couple of years ago. But yeah, man, after that, it was a
defining moment.
A defining moment, man. My mom, my dad, they came to the Skokie police station to come get me. I was shocked. I was like, damn, my dad, I'm like, oh, man, I'm going to get my butt tore off, man. I was like, oh, man, I ain't seen my dad, because he's living in Homo Park at the time. My mom and him, they weren't together. So I'm like, oh, shucks. But, he took it in stride. And listen, son, this is an opportunity to make that move, to make that, learn the situation about the sport that you're in now, boxing. It's a lot of discipline in it. Do it, son. I love boxing because Ali was his hero, and I remember my dad taking me to his house, watching one of Muhammad Ali fights back in the late 70s. I don't know, it was a Michael Spinks when he fought the New Orleans and the Dome and stuff. So I remember that as a kid, man. I'm like, man, he used to always tell his friends, man, look at my son's hands. They used to call me Manopla, as a figure of speech in Puerto Rico. Manopla, right. Even though I'm only 6'2", but I got those Michael Jordan hands.
You got them kabooms right there, Papa.
So, it started emphasizing, like, in my life, like, man, I can't let, the possible talent that I might have with these hands, go to waste. So, that instant right there made me think hard, like, man, I got a chance to make history and do something that a lot of people didn't think I'll be able to do.
Wow.
As box.
And especially when we come out of, right, it's either fighting in the neighborhood for free and for jail, or or I can make a career out of this.
Yeah, survival of the fittest, and I wasn't really a fighter at that time. A fighter was my brother Hector, he always had those other hands, He's the light skinned one, the blanquito, the white Puerto Rican version. But it was just a turning point in my career, and it was a blessing point in my career. Yeah. And here we are, man, talking about history.
Now, you have, again, like at the intro, I couldn't name them all, right? You have very impressive resume.
Amateur career, yep.
And so you have, your amateur career.
Yep.
And then your pro career.
Yep.
Right? Like that's when I remember me, Julio, Chachi, Marco, right? Javier.
Yeah.
We were, I think my friend Dre, Sammy, Yaya, we were all circled around the TV. We were like, yo, Fres is about to fight. Like, national. Like, we're about to watch.
Fox, Fox
bro.
News, HBO, Showtime.
That was a big deal. Like, I know that we're missing a lot in between your youth to you getting on HBO, but I know the trials and tribulations on the way there were not easy. But your first time, national TV, HBO, your brother's right there in that corner with you.
Yep.
How was that feeling? And I want like, because our kids, right? Our kids are now fighting. Our kids are now in rings, right? Our kids are now looking for what they want to do with their life, whether it's sports or something they want to pursue as a trade or academically.
Right.
How was that feeling when you were about to be introduced on national TV? When we were just like,
it was a great feeling because that platform, HBO, is the biggest platform and boxing. All the greats like Mike Tyson, Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali, just to name a few, made that network major. So prior to that, I fought on several major stages like Fox Sports News back then. ESPN. So I had national exposure. I was blessed. I even fought at the Trump Marina, one of the Trump hotels that went bankrupt, and he was there, but he didn't come and greet us and nothing like that. So that's okay. I used to be like, wow, Trump, but he never really supported us, the fighters. But it's okay. The thing is, I fought at the this very luxurious little hotel, and man, I thank him for the opportunity, and it was a great show. And that was like my second, third fight, Atlantic City, New Jersey, and so I was showcased early on in my career. When I turned pro, I was like 23, 22 or something like that, and I was on Fox Sports News, which is great, televising my fight until, I got to that stage, that world-class stage, which is my HBO, the Showtime, and man, just having that moment, graduating, and a lot of people didn't think I'll make it, a little skinny kid from uptown, from the Latham Home Projects, fighting for the most prestigious title in sports, the heavyweight championship. It was unsurreal. It was like, wow, man. It's like, whoever thought this kid, from uptown, getting in trouble, stealing cars, getting locked up, got a case, and now turn his life to boxing, and going through these trials and tribulations, because I learned through all that. Being a champion of second chance is so important, man. And I was blessed, man. In the world stage, in today and age, as you can see my Hall of Fame ring. I took a lot of punches, but a lot of hard work. Even though I was a little skinny old kid, I never thought I'd be a heavyweight, fighter. Puerto Rican is rare to see heavyweights, but yeah, I broke that threshold. Being the first, born Puerto Rican heavyweight champion. There's another Latino heavyweight Puerto Rican that won the heavyweight championship before me. I guess he'd be Holyfield, John Ruiz.
John Ruiz,
yeah. So he was the first, Latino, but he was born in Westchester, Massachusetts. He was raised out there. But I was first born, and then when I turned pro, I went back to my country, with Tito Trinidad, and that was my stable man. His dad was my trainer. Gained a lot of confidence with that experience. And
that was perfect transition, because I was thinking that, like, wow, Tito's dad. Like, how was it? You sparred. I'm assuming you were sparring with Tito.
No, he was too light. Remember, he was a welterweight.
You would have killed him.
He was a welterweight champion, and I was up and coming.
Yeah, he was
heavyweight. Contender. I was considered.
But
smart.
You grew fast.
Yes, yeah.
You grew fast.
Yeah, back in the uptown days, I was a teenager. I was like,
wait, we weren't thinking heavyweight. How did Fres become heavyweight?
Right. Well, in my family.
Yeah,
so
you grew
actually,
fast.
my mom's side, I have uncles that are 6'7". Actually, they used to call him the Russian. My uncle Louis, may he rest in peace. He passed away, many years ago. And I got the chance to at least, be with him in Puerto Rico when I turned pro and went back to my country with the Trinidads and stuff.
Nice.
So they used to call my family the Russians, which is rare.
Rare.
Puerto Rico, we're small,
Puerto Rican Russians.
Yeah.
I heard that one
before. It was big, kind of light skinned, like my mom white. My dad, he was dark, the dark Puerto Rican. My grandmother, may she rest in peace. My dad's mom, got the chance to spend time with her back in '82. I was living uptown then, and man, it was a great moment because it was great to see the Afro part of my family. It was like, wow, what I'm saying. And my hair was curly, and then I have my other sibling, my little brother says their hair is a little straight and stuff. My mom's side, the white part side of Puerto Rico, but we're all Puerto Ricans were Europeans, Taínos, and all that good stuff, and man, I'm happy to look the way I look and feel the way I feel. And
I know. I see you're still running.
Oh, that's my passion.
So I think that's forever, right? Instilled in a boxer, right? They're always running.
Well,
cardio.
because of my passion, my foundation, it's the stuff, health and wellness, and that's so important, no matter what age and whatnot. And I got to keep up with my students, and they're very impressed. I still be sparring a couple of them. I still be throwing them here. I still be sparring some world class, fighters, and hanging in there. But that's the key, man. Just
he's hanging in there. He's doing a comeback. What?
That's what I'm trying to do. Do a little exhibition of something. How Mike Tyson,
really?
Jake Paul. Oh yeah, man. I called out Jake Paul.
That's right. You called out Jake Paul. I remember that.
Man.
That was just last year.
Yes. As people know, I'm the real thing. Like
he
Mike
turned
Tyson.
it down, right?
Yes,
He turned it down.
'Cause, I'm still dangerous. I'm still active. I'm young, and I don't drink, smoke. None of that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just a clean cut guy, and they don't want to chance it. I'm taller, I'm bigger, I'm stronger. I was hoping, maybe get a little.
I think
something,
you still
but-
can.
Yeah, probably fight somebody else. I'm trying to get somebody. Mayweather's making more money now doing these exhibitions than
That's
when he
what-
fought world champions. It's crazy.
That's a whole nother thing right
Yeah.
there, though. Right there.
Yeah.
Do you feel like how many trainers did you have? And I know, and I'm not saying since we were 13 because I know you have a mentor from the very beginning.
yeah,
but
of course.
like, did you feel like there was like with Tito's dad? Did you feel like training with him was essentially different to help you change your style or to help you maybe even mature your style?
Right. It's interesting you say that. It's a great question because it's very important. I was blessed to have these men in my life. Of course, my dad, who motivated, who inspired me to fight. Of
course.
But my first trainer was Bill Hagelin. He was the head trainer of Hamlin Park. He developed a lot of Golden Glove champions. Great basic trainer. Love him. He's the one that started me off. And, he's the man that 10 years of my little life, made me who I am. And then when I turned pro, my first trainer was D.D. Armour. He from the West, not West Palm. He was from the Woodlawn area on the south side. Dear grand trainer. He used to train with Muhammad Ali, just to name a few. But I was blessed to have D.D. Armour. As one to get me ready for the pros. He was my first coach. When I turned pro, for my little first, Fox Sports News showcase when I fought my first national TV fights was with him, and a couple of the Elgin, and then after Didi, he passed away in 2000. That's when I had the great opportunity of a lifetime to train with Papa Trinidad.
Wow.
Tito Trinidad was my stablemate.
Wow.
Back in 1999. I was like in my early 20s, and that God does things for a reason. So I was blessed to have these men so far in my life, and at that time, Tito Trinidad instilled the confidence, that I could do it, that I could be this heavyweight champ and beat him, and beat the current heavyweight champ back then. I think back then it was Chris Burr and some other champions that ended up fighting, and James Toney, just to name a couple of them, and I fared very well against them. And then after Papa Trinidad, he ended up retiring. I'm pretty sure you remember when Tito Trinidad, he ended up retiring, so his father
A little premature too.
Yeah. You remember that? Yeah. So it's cool, So me and my wife decided, let's move back home, but not in the city. We ended up moving to the west suburbs, to raise our kids. And of course, a way better environment now that I'm more successful and financially at ease. So yeah, then I ended up training with another Hall of Fame trainer who to this day is my trainer, tells everybody I'm his fighter. After Tito Trinidad was the great Freddie Roach, who trained Manny Pacquiao. I had the opportunity to train for a great fight. Evander Holyfield, Javier Mora, all national.
Just say his name. That's it. You ain't even, like his list is.
Yeah, so just to name
Hall
a
of
few of
Famer,
these trainers, these men that was in my life, I was blessed. Like you said, I had a few trainers, but it was a blessing because each trainer gave me different
perspective.
Exactly, and confidence. Freddie Roach, another one. Papa
Do you feel
Trinidad.
style different from Papa Trinidad and Roach?
They're very, 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 very similar in confidence-wise to get my confidence up there. But, different as,
little technique here
exactly. Freddie Roach is more of a technique. Papa Trinidad, making sure I leverage my punches right and all that. So I had the best of both worlds, man. I mean, I was blessed. Man. I had to have that. Also helped me where I'm at today.
Wow.
So, so Freddie Roach was my trainer for several years. I was training at the Wildcard Gym in West Hollywood. I lived there for a couple of years, and man, that was a great experience to this day. I still communicate with him.
Wow.
Then after Freddie Roach, during the last part of my year, one of Mayweather's assistant trainer, who's also my arch rival, my Cabrini Green arch rival, Nate the Snake Jones, who ended up winning the Olympic bronze medal,
remember Nate Jones,
1996. Yeah, he ended up being my trainer. We had several world championship fights. When I fought in Russia, Grozny Chechnya against Ruslan Chagayev, everybody. That was the robbery of the year.
Yeah, that was the robbery fight.
Yeah. So they were supposed to give me a rematch, but he ended up.
But it was in Russia. It was in Russia,
Yeah, no politics in it. But the good thing is that the World Boxing Association, they owned me that fight, so they ended up rescheduling other fights against Shannon Briggs, Manuel Charlie, these other fighters back in 2014, 15. But all these fighters, I don't know you familiar, they ended up testing positive with steroids. Shannon Briggs, let's go Chan, he tested positive with steroids. Lucas Brown, he's from Australia, heavyweight, and Emmanuel Charles, this Middle Eastern dude that lived in, I think in Germany or something. And he all guys talking all the wolf and all that. You know, oh, he's a small heavyweight, this and that. But they all on steroids. But yeah, here I am years later. You know, the WBA, which should have gave me a chance to fight for that title. You know,
Yeah,
so I could
for
finally
sure.
get that
opportunity.
yeah. You know, and here I am. Had to get some legal action against them because they ended up putting other people, ahead of me. You know, unlawfully.
And I think that was I think that was that. Like, where do you draw the line, man? It's like,
Right.
man, I've
Exactly.
proven myself for years.
Given to box, exactly.
And I've given you guys everything that I've had,
Yep.
and I'm not only a competitor, I'm a winner because
Yes.
you've proven to beat people, and then you
Exactly.
got robbed.
Exactly.
And it's like, okay, so then something else happens, right? It's like, okay,
Yep.
there's always, and I know that it's boxing in Illinois is
Yeah.
such a touchy
Politics,
topic,
yep.
bro. Tell us a little bit how that I think that affected you, man, a little, right? With the politics and then
Yeah.
trying to get that fight.
Yep. So now the World Boxing Association, they ended up violating my federal rights, my boxing rights, and to this day, we're pretty much in a legally, negative situation because what they did was totally wrong. Even though now I'm in a 50 club, my time is kind of passed by, but I still feel, like I said, I still feel great and all that stuff like that. But yeah, it was just a black eye to boxing what they did to me, and but the good thing is, people still recognize me in the boxing world. Like I said, I'm in Boxing Hall of Fame now.
You're a champ though for us, but you're a Chicago champ.
Exactly. I did.
It's not often that we see a black and brown champion in our community come out, bro.
Exactly.
And I think that's what drives you to do what you do today with the kids, right?
Yeah, and that's what my dad, ended up instilling in me. You always gotta be, a giver. Look out for the poor, look out for the shorties, and this and that. And man, he was right. My dad started that in me, and here I am. Owning the FOBA Foundation, helping prevent youth violence through boxing. Because if it wasn't for boxing, I probably won't be here talking to you. And man, it's a great opportunity, man. To put these smiles on these kids. It's interesting because now that I'm here, I got a call yesterday from one of the parents of one of my students, and I was a little concerned because my student was in a fight with another student at the YMCA, and this was yesterday. It's interesting. We got this tape of, and I was like, man, Mom, what happened? I wasn't showing. Yeah, I mean, I the tactic of defense, self-defense to use it as an aggressive tactic fight. No,
As a weapon.
Exactly. No. If anything, to protect yourself at all times. Against these bullies. Because there's a lot of bullies out there. And then when the mom
That's the wrong kid.
Exactly. That's what ended up happening. And she self-defend herself.
She?
Yep. And like, I got more girls than boys. That's
she
my
let
thing.
him have it?
Oh man. Well, it was another girl, an older one, because my student, she's 11, and this other girl was 14, 13, something.
Buso.
So yeah, she was a bully. She put those hands. She said, "Coach, I remember how you hold those pads on me, hitting those pads." And that's how I looked at her face. And man, she told me everything. I was like, and that's her first time fighting. And man, that was great. Her name is Yaya. She's Boricua. I'm proud of her because she's, had to show people, man, we gotta, protect ourselves from these bullies. Because I was one of those kids when I was 13. I was, getting bullied, and when I fought in Joan F. Fry, it was a dude named Arthur Johnson back in '87. Right before I moved to the projects, and Joan F. Fry, he used to pick every week a guy that he's gonna fight, he's gonna bully. And man, when he picked me, I was like, oh man, I ain't gonna lie, I was terrified. 'Cause he whooped everybody in school and this and that.
And but you were already skilled.
But I didn't even start boxing, but I was still ready to start. And it's crazy because my dad just took me to see the Sugar Ray Leonard Marvis Hagler fight. So back in '87, I was 13. I was like, wow. But man, when he picked me that day to fight me after school, so everybody circled around, and I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, I was terrified. And boxing is true. When you're in that ring, everybody be terrified. You're scared.
You can't even tell.
No, you can't. You can't tell.
Show it.
But once he came at me and hit and threw that first punch, but he missed. Man, I just started weighing on him, and the rest was history. I'll never forget. It was in front of Joan F. Fry, my middle school.
That's where Julio.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah. So yeah, that's what. So one of my students, I told her the story that we have so similarity. I had the same thing happen to me when I was your age, and man, what
laid hands on
and
them.
they laid hands, and I was not suspended, not punished. Or,
How did you feel after that?
Oh man, I felt like
You
wow.
were like,
I
I'm
was
going to the gym.
I was like, man, it just motivated me even more to start the game of boxing, the sweet science, and so I thought I'd bring that up to this interview because it's so important for the youth to always keep your hands up. Never let these bullies, try to take, you for granted, and you protect yourself at all times.
Yeah, just because you're small, they're messing with the wrong person.
And
man.
she was smaller, and she beat up a bigger, older bully.
Wow. So your organization, because man, I see what you're doing, man, and it just encourages me and inspires me.
Thank you,
that I'm trying to find boxers. Kids in the neighborhood, like, hey, I got somewhere to take you.
Right.
So I got somewhere to take you.
Right.
But when did you find, or when did you open the boxing club, and what does it look like today? And
it was founded by me back in 2009. I had a great board. Actually, my wife, Stacey Oquendo, she's a genius, in the not-for-profit field. She worked for the Chinese American Service League in Chinatown for many, many years.
Wow.
And so she has mad experience, and, I ended up doing my own thing. She helped me with that, and to this day and age, she is helping me with that. And, man, the rest was history, and man, it was just.
How many kids do you have now?
Right now, I started in 2009, and then now, when I first started, my programs were at the Spida Charter School. It was a couple of schools, at in Albany, the area in Albany.
Albany Park?
Yeah, Albany Park.
Yeah.
Yep. And then that was back in 17, right around that time.
Okay.
Then I had another boxing academy with Aspida over on Monticello and I think Milwaukee. Yes.
Milwaukee Central Park.
Yes, Central Park.
Yeah, that's the new fairly new
exactly.
one.
Yes.
Across the street from Animal Kingdom.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
you
Oh
walk
wow,
the dog
yes,
there.
yeah, exactly.
I bought my dog there.
That's funny. I used to take the bus past that all the time when I went to Sheridan.
You drove by the
Yeah. That's great. Yep, there and at the Pantoja, which is on Belmont and Pulaski. Pantoja, Aspida got 3 schools.
Yeah.
The early college,
the old Madonna.
Pantoja. Yeah.
Or was that Madonna? Yeah, Madonna, right? Diversity in, Pulaski and Belmont.
Yes.
The old Madonna?
Yes. Wow, you remember that throwback? Yes,
we used to cruise around there.
Right.
Just park.
That was a little click back in the day. But yeah, man, and the rest is history. So now I'm at Melrose Park. I'm hoping to get back into the Aspida school. Now it's a public school. It used to be charter schools.
Yeah.
Aspida now they're public schools, and right now I'm at the Melrose Park Civic Center. So again, all the classes are free for boys and girls from ages
Your kids'
5
classes
and
are free?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, from the state. Department of Human Services,
great.
Cook County. Yeah. And
have to go over there and take class.
yeah, it's all free
I
for
could
the
be a
kids.
big kid.
Right.
I'll just have to shake.
Right, just a little. Right.
Wow, man, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And so, if kids want to, how do kids find you? Like, how do kids?
My social media.
You want to go ahead and
FOBA
schedule appointments or something?
Yeah, it's all free. It'll be on my social media. Instagram, Facebook, Fres Oquendo or FOBA Foundation. And it has all the information, the posters, times, and days, to train. Monday and Wednesdays from 4 to 7 p.m. free at the Melrose Park Civic Center.
Age requirement, how old?
Ages from like 4 to 26.
4 or 5-year-olds?
Yeah.
And a jab already?
Absolutely. A lot of my students, I got some good ones too.
Wow.
It's a good little 5-year-olds. Yeah,
So
that's
they
my
could-
passion.
Yeah, parents, you guys can take your kids to see Hall of Famer and learn.
The sweet science.
Yeah, look at that. That's right. That's right. And you learn from a Hall of Famer, and I think that's when you instill that passion to a kid that already has that kind of that ganas.
Right.
Man, you just take that ganas, man, and you put wings on it.
That's it, man. Fly with it. Yeah.
How many kids do you have right now that you say that, man, they have potential to be pros?
Man, I have lots of them.
I'm sure
the little
they all
ones
have potential to be pros.
We
right?
got the teenagers that my other assistant trainer trains, Moises, who's a dear friend of mine from the Melrose Park area. He helps me with the older kids, the teenagers, and I normally train the young ones, the 5 up to 11, 12-year-olds. So, you know, I help them out. So that's my class. And, yeah, man, it's great, man. We got a great boxing facility. We got more girls than boys. And
That's
women
something
boxing is big.
That's interesting how you got more girls than boys.
Yep, that's my passion.
And, hey, let me tell you something. Them women can fight.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of those times that we see fights like last week.
Yep,
Or,
yep.
Right, like, or like where the women fight, there's one woman fight.
Yes.
And that's the best fight of the night.
Yep.
You're like-
that's how it is. Yep. Women boxing's taking over, man.
Taking over.
I'm proud of them,
Taking
man.
over.
Yep,
Taking
here
over.
We are.
But I did wanna touch on something that we talked about as far as like the academy, the kids, the mentorship. So there's a young lady that I know who runs a non-for-profit in West Englewood.
Oh, okay.
It's called the Englewood Crushers Club.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been there a couple times. These kids, man.
And what's her name?
Sally Hazel.
Oh, I know Sally very well. Oh, she talks highly of me. Oh, yeah, I've been there several times.
So I wanted to ask you if you could go
Great
with me
woman.
one day. And
Yes. Oh,
I
she'll
could
be
take
so happy. Yes.
I'll take a pizza. I know that
Yes.
the pizza will be for the kids.
Right.
But we'll take something to eat, man.
Man, let's
and you
do
go and
that.
talk to them.
Absolutely, man. That's great that you were. I haven't seen Sally in a minute. You know, I haven't seen her in several years.
We just texted
Beautiful.
last week, and
Really?
we were going to plan on meeting for coffee, or I was going to take a pizza, but I figure I'll bring it up to you. We go at the same time
Yeah,
next week, or when you're
man,
free,
absolutely.
before you go back out of town.
Absolutely. No, I got time. I don't leave till next month. So, yeah, man, let's do it, man. What she's doing
She's
is phenomenal. She's
doing-
been doing this for years. I've been friends with her for many years.
she's a beast.
And I'm so proud of her, man.
Man, Sally, we're
Yep.
going to go see you.
Yes.
Shout out to Sally Hazel
Absolutely.
what
You're one
she's
of the best.
doing in West
Beautiful.
Englewood, man. She's
Proud of her.
Yeah, and that whole area,
Yep.
me, myself, being in real estate.
Yeah.
Now you're seeing all these properties now going up in
Yep.
that area.
Yep.
And I love to see that, man. And
Absolutely.
our kids are getting
All
off
time.
the street, man, and they're
Yep.
going to go in there. And she's taking them in, man, and she's
Yeah.
doing so
Make
many
their
beautiful
own.
things. These young men and women are making their own clothing
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
They're making their own music.
Yeah.
They're shooting their
Yeah.
own videos.
Not just boxing, just quality of life, man. They do other stuff.
Teaching
yeah.
them how to, man.
Yeah,
it's- I
life
love
skills.
that. Life skills.
She's a beautiful
man.
person. Yeah,
we gotta get over there.
Beautiful woman. Yep.
Now that we're with a foundation called Grip Youth, and it's another program. It's called SLAM, Saving Lives Through Athletic Ministries.
wow, that's
and so on
cool.
Mondays we meet up with them at Intentional Sports right here in Laramie and Grand.
Oh,
The
okay.
one that
I heard of that before. I passed it.
Jason
couple-
Hayward teamed up.
Yeah.
and opened up right here in Austin.
Oh, yeah,
Real
yeah.
nice.
Okay,
the
yeah.
Chicago, the soccer, the
soccer.
women, Chicago Stars, the Red
Oh,
Stars.
Stars.
That's where they
Okay.
train.
Oh wow,
Which
really?
is Swanson's wife, right?
Yeah,
From
yeah,
the club.
yeah.
So all that to say is
Cool.
like they're doing amazing things there in
phenomenal.
Austin, and I would love for you to come out and talk
Oh,
to the
let's
kids.
do it.
one day,
Absolutely,
man.
man. Motivate 'em. Like, fire
Motivate
them.
them. There's,
Absolutely. That's
there's
what I do.
soccer, there's baseball, there's
Yep.
softball. They do everything.
That's
kids,
awesome, man.
I mean, yeah, we do a lot of things with them there, and bringing you in to talk to them,
Absolutely.
that'll be
Motivate.
a huge
That's-
thing.
that's
And
important.
motivating. Man, Fres, I mean, I wish I could keep talking about this,
We
man,
all
but,
day.
but let me land with this because you've had a heart for shorties and for fighting your whole life,
Yep.
right? But you're not done fighting.
No. Oh no, never.
And it's crazy because I talk to like other, people that are athletes, and they're like, "Oh, I'm done. Don't even talk to me about baseball."
mess,
Like
yeah.
Derek Jeter's like, I could care less what they're doing now. But for you still have that orgullo and that esa gana de pelear. You want to fight again in the ring.
Yeah, I'd love to.
I know you called out Jake Paul last
Yes,
year.
I did. That's
and
right.
And he turned you down.
Yeah, and he looked at all my social media, all my kids, my
I
students. like,
tagged
man.
him. I tagged him on your stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, I was tagging him. I've
Yeah, a
never
lot of my
heard that.
students, send me all the, my posts, my social media posts, and Instagram, how he was looking at it. He was like, some of his people were responding and stuff like that.
And
but
then of course they do their research. See
Right,
the history,
yeah,
And they're
yeah.
like, that's fast.
Yeah,
That's fast,
that's
Fres.
too
You go,
dangerous.
you go,
That's too dangerous.
Too
Right,
dangerous.
right.
Too dangerous.
Yeah.
But would you fight him today?
100%. Oh, in a heartbeat. Oh, yeah. I mean, absolutely,
Let 'em know.
man. Let's do it, brother. Do this for the kids, man. Majority of my purse go, helping, the youth, all the youth, not only FOBA Foundation, all the youth, man, in the Chicago area. We need it.
That's what's
Come
up.
on, man. Let's do this for the shorties.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. If there's anyone else there that you think that would be a pretty good fight too, that would generate some for the purse and for the
Oh, of
for your
course,
foundation.
of
Like,
course.
is
yeah.
there like a couple that you've been in your mind that'd be like, man, that would be a good fight? You don't even have to hate them because I know a lot of boxers don't hate each other. Like you guys practice years coming up.
Yeah, his brother, you know, what was it?
Oh yeah, what's Jake?
Logan,
Paul.
Logan, you know,
Ese no te va
taller,
a
bigger.
pelear, papá.
No, I know.
Ese no te va a
he
pelear,
went 10 rounds with Mayweather. He couldn't even Mayweather's
Ese no
a
te va a
welterweight. He's not even a heavyweight.
Yeah, he won't fight.
Yeah, so he wasn't even breaking the egg. But anyway, let's do this for the shorties, man. Let's get it in and man, let's show the crowd how we do for our communities, especially the youth. You know, our future. Come on, guys, let's make this happen.
Do you have a website?
I'm in the process of getting my website.
Okay.
Yes, it's.
We'll get it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it up.
When
but,
you get it, when it's up live, let me know.
Absolutely.
And we'll put it on there as a partner on my website. Put it up as
Okay,
a partner.
cool.
Again,
Yeah,
if
I'm in the
anybody
process,
wants,
yeah.
what's your address at the gym?
Yeah,
And
yo,
what's your social media so they
yeah.
can find you?
So you guys could go 100 North 25th Street on Melrose Park, Illinois. And again, it's all free programs for all the kids. Again, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Fres Oquendo, FOBA Foundation, FOBA Foundation. You know, you'll see all the kids, you know, all the kids I mentor, the schools, the park districts, all the facilities that we work at. So, and worldwide, you know, I go to Ecuador, Mexico a lot. I've been to Dubai, Saudi Arabia, many other countries in the world. In Europe, you know, train a lot of youth. So make sure you guys check it out and support.
Before I leave, what do you think about that Ryan Garcia fight, man?
You know what? It's interesting. I didn't see it. I was in Utah at the time
that's
at the
right.
grand opening.
Did you see the
For
Canelo?
the former. That's in the Canelo. Yeah,
Oh,
Canelo.
dope.
You know, he fought a pretty slick Cuban.
Yeah.
But you know, he was in survival mode, and you know, Canelo couldn't really get going. But you know, it's style make fights, and like, you know, it's hard to hit those Cubans. They're very fast and good amateur experience, and you know, the Cuban fought pretty intelligent, just not to get hurt, so he lived to live another day. But Canelo, he's a beast, right?
To see another day.
right.
You get another chance at the purse.
Right, exactly, yeah,
That's
pretty
just
much.
it. Man,
Yeah.
it's been good, Fres. Man, I
Likewise,
appreciate
brother.
it.
Likewise,
I want to
Mike.
swing by the gym. I want to bring some of
Yeah,
the kids.
please come on through. Bring them through.
Again, guys, bring your family. And
Yep.
before you leave, I have a gift for you. Go ahead and toss it over here. Let's go. We got it. You know, you can't leave without
Represent,
rocking one of these.
represent.
You'll probably end up ripping
There
out of
you
this
go,
bad boy.
represent.
Let's go.
Here we go. Represent the show. Come on, check it out, guys.
Thank you so
the youth.
much. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
All right,
brother.
guys. For Fast Fres Hall of Famer Oquendo, myself, Mike Gutierrez, us at Mike Talk, Raymond, and my guys Adam behind the scene. Make it all happen. Thank you guys so much. All right, God bless you guys. Till next time, everybody. Peace out. Hey, thanks for joining us. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more episodes like this. And to follow me on other social media handles, click on the link tree in the description. Peace out.
Loyalty and pride are built off passion, off ambition, off compassion, off commitment. No distractions from the mission. We are one.